A popular cliche in philosophy says that science is pure analysis or reductionism, like taking the rainbow to pieces. And art is pure synthesis, putting the rainbow together. This is not so. All imagination begins by analyzing nature. Michelangelo said that.
When that which is divine in us does try to shape a face, both brain and hand unite to give from a mere model, frail and slight, life to the stone by art's free energy.
The material asserts itself through the hand and thereby prefigures the shape of the work for the brain. The sculptor, as much as the mason, feels for the form within nature.
The best of artists hath no thought to show what the rough stone in its superfluous shell doth not include. To break the marble spell is all the hand that serves the brain can do.
By the time Michelangelo carved the head of Brutus, other men quarried the marble for him. But Michelangelo had begun as a quarryman in Carrara, and he still felt that the hammer in their hands and in his was groping in the stone for a shape that was already there. The quarrymen work in Carrara now for the modern sculptors who come here. Marino Marini, Lipschitz, and Henry Moore. Their descriptions of their work are not as poetic as Michelangelo's, but they carry the same feeling.
To begin with, as a young sculptor, I couldn't afford expensive stone. And I got my stone by going round the stone yards and finding what they would call a random block. Then I had to think in the same way that Michelangelo might have done, so that one had to wait until an idea came that fitted the shape of the stone. And that was seeing the idea in that block.
Of course, it can't be literally true that what the sculptor imagines and carves out is already there, hidden in the block. And yet the metaphor tells the truth about the relation of discovery that exists between man and nature. In one sense, everything that we discover is already there. A sculptured figure and the law of nature are both concealed in the raw material. And in another sense, what a man discovers is discovered by him. It would not take exactly the same form in the hands of someone else. Neither the sculptured figure nor the law of nature would come out in identical copies when produced by two different minds in two different ages. Discovery is a double relation of analysis and synthesis together. As an analysis, it probes for what is there. But then, as a synthesis, it puts the parts together in a form in which the creative mind transcends the bare limits, the bare skeleton that nature provides. Sculpture is a sensuous art. The Eskimos make small sculptures that are not even meant to be seen, only handled. So it must seem strange that I choose as my model for science sculpture and architecture. And yet it's right. We have to understand that the world can only be grasped by action, not by contemplation. The hand is more important than the eye. We are not one of those contemplative civilizations of the Far East or the Middle Ages that believed that the world has only to be seen and thought about, and who practiced no science. We are active, and indeed we know in the evolution of man that it is the hand that drives the subsequent evolution of the brain. We find tools made by man before he became man. Benjamin Franklin called man the tool-making animal, and that's right. And the most exciting thing about that is that even in prehistory, man already made tools that have an edge finer than they need have. Henry Moore calls this sculpture the knife edge. The hand is the cutting edge of the mind. Civilization is not a collection of finished artifacts. It is the elaboration of processes. In the end, the march of man is the refinement of the hand in action.